Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to tonight's Village of Alsip board meeting. Today is April 1st, 2017. We'll call this meeting in order at 7:53. Can we call the roll, please?
Sure, Mayor Ryan. Trustee McGreal? Here. Trustee Dalzell?
Here.
Trustee Zielinski?
Here.
Trustee Juarez? Here. Trustee McLaughlin? Here. Trustee Murphy?
Here.
Mayor Ryan?
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. Please join us for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We'll start with officer reports, starting with myself. Just a quick notice, we had something today that came over from our Congressman Bobby Rush. This next Saturday, he's hosting a housing resource fair, Saturday, April 6, 2019, from 10 a.m. till 1 p.m. at the Kroc Center. That's at 1250 West 119th Street. This is going to be a foreclosure prevention program, principal reduction and more affordable mortgage information, and transition assistance to more affordable housing. So if you're interested in participating there and getting some information, it's next Saturday from 10 till 1 at the Kroc. I believe that's a YMCA at 1250 West 119th Street in Chicago. We got a lot on our agenda, so we'll try and get right through this. I'll get to my report on your agenda. First on the agenda is an approval to authorize our village attorney to prepare an ordinance for a Class 6B status for the property located at 50, actually this should be 5901, I just caught that, 5901 West 115th Street, to be occupied by AA Restoration LLC. Next, number 2 is an approval to allow gas stations to offer video gaming with an allocation of at least 160 square feet of space for gaming terminals, and maintain at least 15% of the store for liquor sales, because that's what you need to get to the gaming, with 50% of the store for retail sales. I actually did email all the trustees just kind of an idea of a suggested template, which we can talk about at a future meeting. And again, I showed a breakdown of what percentage of the store should be allocated for, like, my recommendation was at least 15% of the store should be allocated for the liquor sales, at least 15% for coffee and etc., and 50% of the store for retail sales. We never want to ignore the part of the element for gas stations and convenience stores is obviously the retail element. So I did give everyone a template. We can talk about this at a future date. I did confer with the attorney earlier today, and should the board decide to allow video gaming at gas stations, this will need to create a new style of classification for that license. That's not going to be what we're going to discuss tonight. We just want to know whether or not we're going to allow this to happen, and then at a future meeting, maybe even next week, I'll have a stronger template to discuss as far as whether or not somebody's in compliance with what we're looking for as far as square footage. So that's the only question tonight on that.
Mayor?
Yes.
Can we word that differently? You have approval to allow gas stations to offer. Now, this is going to be a new kind of license, correct?
Right.
Okay. Well, the way it's worded, it sounds like you're trying to circumvent board approval for these licenses. You're just going to automatically allow any gas station that comes in.
No, it's got to be a license that obviously you're going to have both the ability to serve alcohol on premise as well as retail sales too.
So this is going to be
that's why I gave everybody an
to allow to change an ordinance or change a status of a certain particular liquor license.
You're creating a new
just for the so you'll have to pass an ordinance creating a new classification. So this isn't going to do anything. This isn't going to allow anybody to start offering video gaming in a gas station. You're going to have to actually create a new license because you don't have a license that actually allows packaged off-premises sales as well as on-premises
So again,
consumption.
we're approving to create a new license.
Well,
Well, when that comes,
I'll be
we're just asking the question tonight, whether or not we even want to allow it in those particular venues. Then we'll come up with a new classification for this license. Because right now, as the attorney just said, like a Class A license, I gave everybody examples. Class A is consumption on premises. Class C is packaged goods and so forth. So, we have to come up with something in between. We don't have one that does both.
I would characterize this as approval to just consider it in the future.
That's what I'm asking. I just
Yeah,
wanted to
I
make
mean, that's
sure
what I look at it as, to be quite honest with you, just whether or not we're even,
But it could be taken two different ways.
I understand. Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Where did this come from? Was there
What?
this concept?
Well, obviously, there's a lot of allowing video gaming at gas stations. Is that what
To
you're
allow
asking?
them at all gas stations and also
Pardon?
to allow them at all gas stations in town.
Right. A lot of the surrounding communities are already doing it. Crestwood does it, Bridgeview does it, Burbank does it.
Well, excuse me, Mayor, it's not allowing all gas stations, it's permitting gas stations with certain criteria.
Right. And that was the example I gave everybody. Just real quick, I mean...
That's why it's really confusing there, Mayor. I just wanted to make sure that it's worded correctly so everybody understands
Right. I
what
mean,
you're actually trying to do.
I gave everyone a template to consider where, let's say, for instance, like the minimal square footage inside a store might be like 900 square feet. And, I actually did go out and evaluate all the establishments in town, and there's a couple that are not compliant. You'll never have enough space in there to actually make a reasonable retail effort.
I understand.
So, yeah. So, yeah, I actually, of the maybe the 5 gas stations in town, I looked at 4 of them. 2, in my eyes, were compliant, and 2 were not. And the third one, I think he'd probably be okay. The 5th one would probably be okay, but I haven't got there yet, that's
But
all.
still, even if they're compliant, they still, each and every one of them are a case-by-case basis, have to
Sure.
come before the board and get our approval for you to create the license.
Absolutely. And like, there's one gas station in town where he's actually got a car wash that it doesn't work anymore, that he could actually renovate for a space like that yet, too. It's attached to the building and all that kind of thing yet, too, So, no, it's case by case. It's not just an overall blanket or anything like that. And that's all I had. So, clerk's report?
Thank you, Mayor Ryan. I have the approval of the February 2019 IDOT motor fuel tax allotment in the amount of $38,038.11. That is all, Mayor Ryan.
Okay, thanks. Then we have the attorney report. We have Joe Kankar with us.
No report, Mayor.
All right. Engineers report. Will?
Just that the CDBG application went in this past Friday on time, and I just wanted to thank the village board for calling that special board meeting and getting everything done so quickly.
I appreciate you guys making the catch on that yet, too. That's why we did that special meeting last week to make sure we got our application on time for some additional paving to get done.
Yeah, it's a great way for additional funding if we get approved. So
What's the ballpark on that, Will? When do you think that application is going to be considered?
it's the same cycle, so they'll decide in the fall, and then you'll get the money in the spring. So it's
For
like-
next season?
Yeah.
Gotcha, okay. All right, thank you. We've reached the public forum aspect of the meeting. Would anyone in the audience wish to address the board tonight? Go ahead, just state your name, please.
Rocío Restrepo. I'm here to request, on April 20th is our opening day. Good afternoon, trustees and Mayor Ryan. Is opening day for Little League, and so we have the parade route. So I'm just wanted to request approval for the parade route on April 20th. As usual, we would go down Cosner, 217th, and then come back around to Goretto Field.
Did you run it through police already?
No,
I
I...
did not, but that's the same route that they ran last year.
Okay.
Yes. So I can, who do I email it? Do I email it to you and CC?
Do both. Yeah, send it to the chief and just copy me. That's
Got it.
all. Okay.
Okay.
All right, thank you. Anybody else?
My name's Michael Pierce, 4937 West 124th Street. My request is to you trustees. I've sat in the seat that you did, and I know that around town I am known as the anti-gaming former trustee. Recall, it was me that called for the public hearing and asked for input on this gaming, and I actually, backed down and said, that this could be done, in a coordinated, slow effort. all I'm asking is, when I see something like this on the agenda, is, and I'm not going to name any gas station or anything like that, but just think of all of the different open properties, especially over in the Condesa area, on Pulaski, strip malls and different things that are open right now. A perfect example of a success of this village board was, the Love to Play over on 111th. It is doing well. My wife is a teacher. She said that's all the kids in her classroom talk about. There's more opportunities for those types of things. When you consider writing an ordinance like this, you're going to welcome a whole bunch of gaming. I just want you to remember the state minimum distances, for liquor and, things like that, schools, playgrounds, and child activities. Keep that in mind when you do this, because again, I'm not going to mention a property on Cicero, but you've got a very wide open strip mall. It's not being used for anything. That if that area's got gaming and liquor, it kind of hamstrings what you can do. Thanks.
Anybody else? All right, we'll close that. Next, standing committee reports. Finance Committee, Trustee McLaurin.
All right, first I have a request for approval of a list of payroll dated March 29th, 2019, totaling $355,052.48. Next I have a request for approval of accounts payable dated April 1st, 2019. From the recap, General Fund, $166,235.35. Road and Bridge, $20,264.21. MFT, $7,055.46. Pulaski Road Corridor TIF, $4,660.50. Water and Sewer, $10,506.24. Heritage, $25,284.65, for a grand total all funds of $234,006.41. And, excuse me, next, since the finance director has left the room, I will skip number 3 for the moment and actually move down to number 5. Approval of a property tax appeal board, aka PTAB, settlement regarding First Midwest Bank at 11900 South Pulaski for the years 2014, 15, and 16 for the amount of $13,152 even. The taxpayer had previously requested a refund of $20,752. And this is a settlement and a settlement regarding Presbytero Properties at 4209 West 115th Street for the years 2014, 15, and 16 in the amount of $10,675. This taxpayer originally requested a refund of $21,864. Our attorney in this case has been Scott Ginsberg of Robbins Schwartz, and he has recommended these settlements. And then, so Kent, are you ready to talk about electricity?
Yes. So the electricity bid came in. I forwarded that on to, I think, all of you earlier in the day. We got, as we said, the bid was done earlier in the day by a company that we've used for over a decade, who can look at the spot prices, and they requested bids. The company that came in actually slightly was less than the current company, so for, I don't know if those of you who have been here longer could tell me, but in the time I've been here, this will be the third company that we've had, because it's not based on keeping your company, it's based on whoever has the lowest bid. I think AEP is the lowest one for the 36 months. I believe that is right in line with where we were before with the draft version, which had a savings of $19,000 a year. These are for accounts that are essentially the business accounts, so it's ones we don't get free electricity for. So it's street lights, it's the pumping stations, it's the lift stations, things like that. And it has nothing to do with the residential, who your supplier is in your homes. This just has to do with the village's business-style accounts. And again, we put that out to bid every number of years. We did it 3 years ago. They're all expire in December, And this is the company that came in, I think it was AEP.
AEP
if I
is
have
for
it correct.
the backup, yes.
It's just the company that came in with the lowest bid, and it should save the village money. ComEd really isn't in this business anymore. They're now the wire business. So this is the best way to go about getting lower rates. The company that does the bidding, who's been with us since 2008, they're supplied by whoever the winning bid is, so we don't even have to pay that fee directly as well. So this is something that we do in 3 more years, we will do this again, just like we always do.
And you said the savings was $19,000?
That's what it was when the draft from a week ago, and I think those prices came in right in line with that. I think it was 4.3 something, and I think that's right where we were. I think it basically didn't. The spot market didn't move in the last week.
And then it's the big thing with this, until we actually lock in, the prices can change within the hour. I mean.
And I talked to the village attorney, Mike Kankar, about whether or not we wanted to do the past practice, which is get it the morning of the board meeting and just distribute it to everyone, or whether we wanted to say the finance director has a little bit of leeway sometimes in the next few days. He said if you've done in the past, just go with the same process that we've done in the past. So that's what we did. I did talk to you at the last committee meeting about possibly doing this for some of our natural gas, and I'll bring that probably back to another committee meeting to talk about trying to do the same kind of savings. The difference in price probably isn't going to be $19,000, but I think that we'll probably end up with savings if we use this for natural gas as well. But typically we've done it for electricity, and we probably should have been doing it for natural gas as well.
Did you say you sent us an update today?
Yes, an email.
I didn't get to see it yet. I was at work all day.
Okay.
Trustee McGrail.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So do we have a number we're going to plug in here then?
It would be 36 months, and I'm
Actually, the way that's written, it's going to be fine the way that's written. The only thing that really needs to change in the ordinance is the name. The previous name was in there. We just change it to AEP.
AEP Energy Inc.
And AEP Energy Inc. Thank you. But what would happen is on the back of it would be their contract, which was also included in your email.
All right. Thanks.
So we do not specify the number of months?
The number of months was already in the ordinance.
It's the same. Okay.
It's the same, and the other said amount not to exceed 4.5. So that's also still fine. It didn't exceed it. It was 4.3 something. So that's fine. So it's literally just the name is all that has to change. But the attachment in the back, it would be the actual contract that they sent over. We would need to, if this is approved at tonight's board meeting, and I see no reason why it's not. It's savings of $19,000. And for the same reason we talked about last time, shale prices have lowered the production of electricity costs. Then you guys would sign the contract. I would let them know when we would get it back to them before the end of business day tomorrow, and that price is good through that time.
All right, thank you. That's it, Trustee?
Now, the final item, as we had discussed in the pre-meeting, on the agenda for approval is the fiscal year 20 appropriation ordinance.
And that is printing off, so and I've never in my life have I ever suggested that something be yanked out of the consent agenda, but if you would like to yank that out of the consent agenda, have a conversation about that, by then all the copies of there would be printed. Again, the only thing that would change from at least my Saturday update of the 2 flat roofs in water is the OPEB line from $100,000 and the claim item for $250. But again, just so you can see it, I'm printing up the whole ordinance for all of you guys so we can look at that at the end of the meeting.
Thank you. All right. The Fire Committee report, Trustee McGlorin?
Yes. First, I have a request for approval to replace the ladder on the fire department ladder truck with Seagrave Manufacturing.
We should fix that to say we're going to repair the ladder, not replace.
You're right.
Shouldn't we also have a not-to-exceed price?
I believe, Tom, it was 157,000, Chief?
155 and change, right? The contract was part of the
It was
presentation.
157,000 and change, and that we had 3 installment payments to make on that,
Correct.
too.
I was told it was 155 and change.
It was, but there's obviously tax there that wasn't on that and stuff, then, too, so. I don't know. There's a contract that.
Okay.
Well, if we're doing 3
everyone saw.
installments, it might have some type of financing fee.
That's what I'm saying, right.
In an amount
So
not
if we
to
make it not to
exceed-
exceed $158,000, that should cover all incidentals? Okay.
Correct.
So I will add that to the motion. Next, I have a request for approval for Chief Stasinski to attend the Illinois Fire Chiefs Association Annual Symposium from May 15th through the 17th of 2019 for a all-in cost of $390. That includes conference, travel, etc. Next, approval of the February 2019 monthly Fire Prevention Bureau report. And then next, I have approval of holiday pay in the amount of $31,984.20 per the collective bargaining agreement. Next, approval to pay the first half of shift commander, assistant shift commander, what is this? In the amount of $4,125 per the collective bargaining agreement. Next, approval to pay the annual incentive pay in the amount of $25,374.98 for the collective bargaining contract. And finally, I have a request for approval of the February 2019 monthly activity report based on our National Fire Incident Reporting System data. That's all I have under fire.
All right, thank you. The Police Committee report, Trustee McGrail.
I have, approval to hire 1 police officer for the May Academy to replace an officer that relocated out of the state, and also approval of the February 2019 monthly activity report, which included 1,171 total citations issued and total arrests 25. The citations issued included state 201, parking and ordinance 414, warnings 117, and red light cameras 439. The total arrest 25 was 3 felonies, 22 misdemeanors, and also investigations. There were 28 cases assigned and 12 closed. Red speed trailer deployments were not deployed this month. And problem areas and areas of focus are retail corridors in Pulaski and Cicero. That's all that I have.
All right, thank you. Next is the Public Work and Boat Launch, Trustee Juarez.
I have an approval to hire 6 full-time temporary public works seasonal employees, each to work 40 hours a week for a maximum of 14 weeks at $11 per hour. I have an approval to hire 2 part-time boat launch seasonal employees, each to work 12 to 16 hours per week at $11 per hour from May 24th through October 31st, 2019. I have an approval to reimburse the Davis family of $846 for the replacement of their decorative brick mailbox that was permanently damaged by a village snowplow. An approval to reimburse the Davis family 50% of $423 for said replacement. That's all, Mayor.
So which one is it?
You want to tell us about do you know what that's about?
Well,
The mailbox that was damaged?
You'll have to,
When we get to the consent agenda, we're going to have to, we'll vote on one or the other. That's it? Okay. Building Committee, Trustee Zelinski.
I have approval to hire 2 part-time summer personnel for the building department for a period not to exceed 14 weeks at a cost of $11 per hour. That's all I have tonight.
All right, the Sewer and Water Department, Trustee Dalzell.
Approval to hire 4 part-time summer personnel for water and sewer for a period not to exceed 14 weeks at $11 per hour. Those individuals will be doing water meter installs, hydrant flushing, painting, servicing valves and B-box repairs, as well as meter reading. And then also the approval to purchase water meters and the FlexNet radios at a cost not to exceed $19,370. That's 96 meters, 54 FlexNet radios, and the associated wire seals and gaskets. It's in the fiscal year 19 budget appropriation. That's all I have, Mayor.
All right, thank you. The License Committee, Trustee Juarez.
I have an approval of a list of licenses dated March 8th through March 25th, 2019. That's all, Mayor.
All right. The Economic Development Committee, Trustee Murphy.
No report tonight, sir.
All right, Planning and Zoning, Trustee Zelinski.
No report tonight, Mayor.
Then we'll go on to the Special Committee reports, Village Properties, Trustee McLaughlin.
Yes, under Village Properties, in summary, Roger is requesting a total of 6 part-time employees, 2 at Village Hall, 2 at Heritage 1, 2 at Heritage 2. All would work for a period not to exceed 14 weeks at $11 an hour. And that's all I have.
All right, thank you. The Insurance Committee, Trustee McGrill.
For the Insurance Committee, I'm going to refer this to committee for next week for a bid opening and for presentations from the companies that submitted their bids today or their RFPs to the clerk's office. So we can have presentations and discussion, and we can also have an action item. That's all that I have, Mayor.
Ordinance and Legislation, Trustee Murphy.
I have approval of an ordinance of the Village of Alsip approving the renewal of Class 6B assessment status for the real estate located at 13160 South Pulaski, Alsip, Illinois, identified by PIN 24-34-401-008-0000, Prestone Products Corporation. And number 2, I have approval of an ordinance authorizing an agreement for the Village of Alsip with Prestone Products Corporation for the property located at 13160 South Pulaski, Alsip, Illinois, identified as PIN 23-34-401-008-0000. And that's all I have, Mayor.
All right. Trustee, I was just going to point out, Trustee McGrill, we do have that on the consent agenda for the approval of the 5 insurance policies for tonight. So obviously you're asking to pull, you want to table that? That's what you want to do?
Table it or move it, refer it to committee next week.
All right, we'll vote on that because you got to vote on that to just
Right.
take it off. All right. Next is the IT, Trustee Dalzell.
No report, Mayor.
Human Resource, Trustee McGrill.
No report.
Health and Pollution, Trustee Murphy.
No report, Mayor.
Traffic Safety, Trustee Dalzell.
No report, Mayor.
Trustees, any presentations, petitions, or communications? No? I do want to mention, I was going to catch it during the police report, too. Want to commend the Police Department. Chief Miller, you guys did a great job. We had a short discussion today with that incident over the weekend. Took a couple more guns off the street.
Yes, I have a statement that'll be coming out on Facebook. The officers did a great job. We did coordinated with Oak Lawn Police Department, Chicago Police Department. Saturday, they responded to a call of a gun being displayed on somebody at Restvale Cemetery. They saw the vehicle at 115th and Laramie and chased the vehicle to 111th and Pulaski, where 2 offenders fled on foot. They ended up catching both of them. One of them had 4 firearms, 2 of which were stolen in his bag that he had with him. Felony charges were approved by the State's Attorney's Office, and we're also looking to possibly take this case federally. So,
Nice job by your policeman, Chief. Great job. The worst part, too, is they actually left 2 little kids in the car, too. 2 2-year-olds they left in the car after when they took off on foot, and one of the kids broke his leg in the accident, too, right? Right. It's terrible. So, nice job, Chief. Trustees, you wish to remove anything from the consent agenda? Any items?
I'd like to remove R.
R.
I'd like to remove B.
As in boy?
B as in boy, G as in girl, and Z.
C?
Z like zebra?
B, G, and Z.
Yes.
Sounds like it ought to be a business name, BGZ.
All right, can I get a motion to establish?
Just one second, I just want to summarize if you don't mind.
Oh, go ahead.
To summarize, we're removing B as in boy, G as in girl, R as in Robert, and Z as in zebra, correct?
Can I get a motion to establish then, please?
So moved.
Second.
Do we want to change the verbiage, Mayor, on letter I?
You're right.
Yeah,
It's gonna be
stipulation on letter
to
I not to exceed
repair.
$158,000
Right.
and fix the word replace
To repair.
to repair.
Right. And letter A needs to be approval to authorize the attorney to prepare an ordinance for Class 6B status for the property located at 5901 West 115th Street to be occupied by AA Restoration LLC.
And also, clerk, letter B, if it should, we agreed would say case by case.
Well, we've removed
pulling
it for
B,
right
so-
now, so we can adjust it when we vote. Okay, so again, we've corrected the address in letter A to 5901. Letter I is approval to repair the ladder on the fire truck, ladder truck with Seagrave Manufacturing in an amount not to exceed $158,000. Roll call number 1 to establish. Trustee McGrail.
Yes?
Trustee Dalzell.
Yes.
Trustee Zelinski.
Yes.
Trustee Juarez.
Yes.
Trustee McLaughlin.
Yes.
Trustee Murphy.
Yes.
Motion carries to establish.
Get a motion then to,
Motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Give me 1 second, please. Okay, roll call number 2 to approve the consent agenda as presented. In recap, the property located in letter A is 5901 West 115th Street. Approval of, letter D, approval of a list of payroll dated March 29th, 2019, totaling $355,052.48. Letter E, approval of a list of accounts payable dated April 1st, 2019, totaling $234,006.41. Letter F, approval of a resolution approving a 36-month contract for electricity with AEP Energy, Inc. is resolution number 2019-04-R-1. Letter I, approval to repair the ladder on the fire truck, ladder truck with Seagrave Manufacturing in an amount not to exceed $158,000. Letter AA, approval of an ordinance for the Village of Alsip approving the renewal of Class 6B assessments status for the real estate located at 13160 South Pulaski, Alsip, Illinois, identified by PIN number 243440080000. Prestone Products Corporation is ordinance number 2019-04-1. Letter BB as in boy, approval of an ordinance authorizing an agreement of the Village of Alsip with Prestone Products Corporation for the property located at 13160 South Pulaski, Alsip, Illinois, identified as PIN 233440080000, is ordinance number 2019-04-2. Again, roll call number 2 to approve.
Trustee Clerk, Clerk President, just President immediately, it's proper for BB, it should be 24, just to correct the PIN. You've got 2-3, there's 2-3 on there?
Oh, right.
Just, it's the same
Same-
property,
same
it's
thing as
not a
above.
big
Okay.
deal, it's just,
So 2434.
correct.
Thank you very much. Roll call number 2 to approve the consent agenda. Trustee McGrail.
Yes.
Trustee Dalzell.
Yes.
Trustee Zelinski.
Yes.
Trustee Juarez.
Yes.
Trustee McLaughlin.
Yes.
Trustee Murphy.
Yes.
Motion carries to approve the consent agenda.
Very good. We'll go back to a couple of the items that were removed. Letter B, approval to allow gas stations to offer video gaming. Certainly, we can amend the rest of the language there because as we can, in other words, what I want to say is forthcoming, in other words, the board can establish a formula we're going to approve to be used for compliance. That doesn't mean each establishment is going to be able to have video gaming in there without the compliance factor. But in this case, the question then would just be to allow gas stations to offer video gaming with, as I said, a forthcoming formula to be used for compliance and approved by the village board. Trustee McGreal, you had a question? You
I
pulled
would
that?
like a separate vote.
Okay.
Okay, Mayor, could you please repeat how you want this amended?
I'd like to say approval to allow gas stations to offer video gaming with a forthcoming formula to be used for compliance and approved by the village board. And again, keep in mind, the reason this question comes up is that last year I asked this of the board if they wanted to allow that. At the time, they did not want to offer this element. And again, nearby communities are doing such, and we were given a presentation last week by 7-Eleven Corporation, who I met with last year down at the Chicago Deal-Making Conference, and they'd like to develop a property at 127th and Pulaski by taking down the gas station on the corner and the restaurant next door to put up one of their new marquee stores. It's a 4,000 square foot store offering automobile gas out in front and diesel fuel behind. But the caveat in this situation is it's contingent upon having video gaming. So that's really the reason that this made it all the way to an agenda, and why it's in question tonight is for future development in this case. So can we call the roll, please?
Excuse me, Mayor. I'd still be more comfortable if we change the wording to something more appropriate, like approval to create a new class of liquor license
To be determined.
to allow the gas stations to offer video gaming, and then end up, with the criteria that you've set forth, and then also to end up, to be approved by the board with a case-by-case
basis.
All liquor
What do you think is
licenses are.
best said, Joe?
No, I think he's right about the initial part of it, but with liquor license, it's not, once you have the classification, you decide how many licenses there are going to be.
Okay.
And then the mayor issues the licenses, right? So if you set for 2 licenses, he issues the 2 licenses, then you can, of course, not allow any more by not creating any more, but you can't do a case-by-case basis of who comes in and applies.
Traditionally, we've set the number of licenses, and then if a business closes or whatever, then we reduce that.
But the way you were saying you were still saying allowing them to do it, and we're just approving it.
Right.
Create a different
my whole
license
thing is
class.
not everybody's going to be compliant. That's all. That's the only reason we're asking for it on the surface. But when we get into committee, we'll have a better template for that. Yeah.
No, but I agree. You should just approval to pursue to creation of an ordinance. I think is fair.
Class of liquor license for this, right?
Right.
So it'll be approval to create a new class of liquor license to allow the gas stations to do this.
Right. That's fine.
If
I'm
you could
fine
just
with
add
that.
that into the beginning, I'd be fine with it.
Approval to create an additional class of liquor license to allow gas stations to offer video gaming with a forthcoming formula to be used for compliance and approval by the board.
That sounds right.
Okay, so I'm going to repeat it one more time.
Go ahead, yeah, go ahead.
Sounds
Letter-
really good.
Letter B, approval to create an additional class of liquor license for approval to allow gas stations to offer video gaming with a forthcoming formula to be used for compliance and approval by the board.
Yes.
Mayor, I'd make that motion.
Second? Oh, sorry. Second, thank you.
Long drawn-out pause there. Thank you, Trustee Murphy. Letter B, I'm sorry, roll call number 3 to approve letter B. Again, approval to create an additional class of liquor license to allow gas stations to offer video gaming with a forthcoming formula to be used for compliance and approval by the board. Again, roll call number 3. Trustee McGrail.
No.
Trustee Dalzell.
Yes.
Trustee Zelinsky.
Yes.
Trustee Juarez.
No.
Trustee McLaughlin.
No.
Trustee Murphy.
Yes.
Mayor Ryan.
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right, next, we had the approval of the fiscal year 20, which encompasses basically May 1st, 2019 through April 30th, 2020 appropriation ordinance. Trustee McGrail, do you have a question?
Yes, I'd like to make a motion to refer it to committee, because after sitting up here for 12 years, I think it would be prudent and fiscally responsible to refer it, because we weren't quite ready for our hearing tonight, and it will not delay it very much to refer it to committee.
We've had, how many meetings?
For a second.
All right.
We did not have the ordinance or any papers in our hands till tonight.
Can I get a second on that, please?
Second.
You can call for discussion now if you want.
I'm sorry, Joe.
You can call for discussion now.
Any further discussion anybody want to have on this before we vote?
I just wanted to say, being that we just received all the final numbers, it'd be nice to have a little extra time to digest
over
them. Make sure that everything's, we're not here every day, working with the finance director like you are, Mayor, so I know it's upsetting to you, but it'd be nice if we
right
knew what
thing
we
to
were
do.
actually approving.
Kent, how much are these numbers going to change by the time we have our next meeting?
I mean, if anything else comes in, we can change, but, I mean, I can update as we get more stuff from this year, but they're not going to materially change at all. And as I said, we've had 6 or 7 budget hearings. Some of the, not everybody attended not all of the elected officials attended all of the budget hearings.
But you can listen to them online, which I did.
Okay.
Right.
And I'm okay with the special board meeting on the 8th.
If you listen to them online, we've gone through every single line item of this budget, most of them multiple times. So this isn't, this budget isn't a surprise to anybody.
If we table the vote till next Monday and hold a special board meeting immediately before the committee meeting, will that be allowed within the parameters of the public notice?
I think you have to let them know not less than 10 days.
So no. You just have to publish notice of the hearing 10 days before you have the public hearing. You can.
Well, I mean, we had the hearing tonight.
Yes, you're fine. You're absolutely, if you wanted to pass the ordinance at the next week or 2 weeks from now, you're fine.
Thank you.
Okay.
With the current hearing we're having.
Correct, because you can change the numbers.
That's what I thought.
The idea being you can have a hearing and you can change the numbers and pass the ordinance with the changes as are reflected. So there's going to be no difference between them.
So, based on that, is the board's preference to help schedule a special board meeting for next Monday to get this approved? Be a 5-minute board meeting, vote and adjournment.
Can make a motion to postpone it till April 15th, and then we could approve it on that day.
Been a motion and a second, right?
Yeah, motion is
Well, there's already a motion on the floor to table, so you can't make another motion.
And a second.
I second.
Okay.
Roll call number 4 to table letter G, approval of the fiscal year 20, which is May 1st, 2019 to April 30th, 2020 appropriations ordinance. Trustee McGrail.
Yes.
Trustee Dalzell.
Yes.
Trustee Zelinsky.
Yes.
Trustee Juarez.
Yes.
Trustee McLaughlin.
Yes.
Trustee Murphy.
Yes.
Motion carries to table letter G.
Just remember, you're going to have to take it from the table before you pass it at the special meeting. Okay.
Next was letter R, Trustee Murphy. It has had to be pulled. Approval to reimburse the Davis family Actually, it should have been Q or R. Okay,
Right,
we'll go with
we
R. We'll
approved
do R
Q,
first,
so
right.
R's just
Approval to reimburse the Davis family 50% or $423 for said replacement of their damaged mailbox. Can we get a motion in a second?
It's moot,
No.
Mayor.
It's
It's moot.
It's moot. We passed
You
Q.
approved the 100%.
We said that we're going to do it at 100%.
We're going to give them 100%,
That's
not
fine.
50.
That's fine.
So we're just pulling R.
You had pulled R here, that's all. So-
Right.
all right. And the last one was letter G, Z is in zebra. The approval of 5 insurance policy renewals on May 1st, 2019 through April 30th, 2020. Policies which expire on May 1st, 2019 are the package policy that includes general liability, public officials liability, law enforcement liability, employment practices liability, commercial auto liability, an umbrella 1 policy of $10 million, excess of $1 million, and an umbrella 2 policy that's a $5 million policy, excess of $11 million, and workman's compensation. Trustee McGrill, do you have a question on that?
I'd like to refer it to Insurance Committee for next week, and to the clerk's office for the bid opening and presentations from the companies that submitted the bids, and discussion, and we could put on an action item if the board prefers to do that night. But referring it to committee for presentations and discussion.
So is that your motion, Trustee
Yes.
McGrill?
Yes, I'd like to refer it to the Insurance Committee for next week.
Second?
You have discussion between, I just have a question.
Sure, we have a motion, second, go ahead.
I just want to clarify that the bids are being opened next Monday, but the timetable for the bids are the same as when the RFP was put out, which means that there is no additional bids. That's correct, right? So if somebody showed up with a bid after tonight's meeting, it is a moot point because that's not what was in the bid specifications. Okay.
Correct.
I just wanted to make sure that was clear.
Correct.
Could I ask a quick question on there, too? When the board said to go out for the RFP, they said it would be due by April 1st at 5 p.m., but the RFP said April 1st at 11 a.m. Do you know why that was changed?
That was changed, I think the common practice was at 11 a.m. in the past. I know that's how we did the garbage, and frankly, the 5 p.m. part was lost on me.
Did we receive anything between 11 and 5?
Not that
No,
I'm
it
aware
said
of.
11 on the thing, so it would have been what
Immaterial.
we... Right, I'm just wondering why the direction of the board wasn't followed.
How many bids were received?
2.
Thank you.
Roll call number 5 to refer item Z to committee approval of 5 insurance policy renewals on May 1st, 2019 through April 30th, 2020. Policies will expire on May 1st, 2019 are package policy, general liability, public officials liability, law enforcement liability, employment practices liability, commercial auto liability, umbrella 1, $10 million, excess of $1 million, umbrella 2, $5 million, excess of $11 million, and workers' compensation. Again, roll call number 5 to refer to committee. Trustee McGrill.
Yes.
Trustee Dalzell.
Yes.
Trustee Zelinski.
Yes.
Trustee Juarez.
Yes.
Trustee McLaughlin.
Yes.
Trustee Murphy.
Yes.
Motion carries to refer to committee.
All right, then we'll, any unfinished business?
I hate to do this one. Since we're having a special board meeting to talk about the other table item, did we want on that special board meeting to open up the possibility of doing the insurance committee, and the insurance bid that was also being tabled till the next committee?
I thought we were tabling the appropriation ordinance until the 15th.
I think it was, we talked about a special board meeting after the committee meeting is what I thought we were talking about. And if that's the case, and we talked about a 5-minute meeting, I think was discussed a few minutes ago.
Yeah.
If that's the case, and I don't know if it is, but if that's the case, then is the insurance also going to be put on the special board meeting's agenda.
When does the insurance have to be passed by?
May 1st.
By May 1st,
So why wouldn't we just hold the normal committee, run those things, and then just vote on every the 15th? And I'm just trying to make this personal because work is sending me away next week. So
I'm go back to Joe about the, if it's on the 15th, are we still good with the budget hearing that we had today?
No problem.
Okay. So there would be no special board meeting
No
for
special board
either of
meeting.
these. Both of these items are designed to go to committee next meeting, and then 2 weeks from today, they would go on to the regular board agenda. Okay. I just wanted to everyone be on the same page. Thank you.
Any unfinished business? Any new business?
I would just like to give a shout out to the ladies in the clerk's office, particularly Eric O'Donnell, who handle all of the early voting setup. The Little Orange Men, please thank Officer Merlot for lending them to us. We found them very helpful and had many compliments on directing people to the back of the building. That's all, Mayor.
All right, can I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Very good. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us tonight. We'll adjourn this meeting at 8:44. Please enjoy your evening.
Tell students.